Stop for a heartbeat and picture the most forbidden scene in modern Windsor lore: dawn light dripping through Buckingham's netted curtains while a parchment travels hand-to-hand along a corridor still scented with beeswax and cold anxiety. At the top in block capitals, deprivation of titles, York, Bill 2025. Just beneath, a single line that reads like a guillotine poised above a neck: be it enacted that Andrew Albert Christian Edward shall cease to be Duke of York and shall no longer bear the style or title of Prince. One signature from the King and 9 letters, PNC, evaporate faster than morning mist across the Long Walk. For 3 decades the palace thought no scandal could outweigh blood. Then the Newsnight calamity lit up every living room, the New York lawsuit drained millions, the Epstein photo burned itself into neural pathways worldwide. Now comes the detonator, historian Andrew Loney's new volume, entitled The Rise and Fall of the House of York, leaking days before publication like acid through vellum. Pages fizz with fresh claims, expensed helidrops near Courchevel slopes, confidential dinners with a suspected Chinese influence peddler, whispered musings that the prince once ridiculed Meghan to Harry's face, vehemently denied, yet repeated across feeds within minutes. Each anecdote prolongs the siege of Royal Lodge, where Andrew still stalks threadbare carpets under a roof the Crown Estate calls structurally distressed. And each line feeds Westminster's growing appetite for a head on a spike. Inside those oak-panelled committee rooms MPs have rediscovered an antique blade, the Titles Deprivation Act 1917. Originally forged to strip German cousins who fought for the Kaiser, its edge remains scalpel-sharp, needing only a modern trigger, grave reputational harm, to sever a title. Parliamentary Council have already drafted the insertion. The bill is tiny, ruthless. It won't crawl through months of debate. One free vote could dispatch it before Easter recess. The Lords, eager to prove relevance, will nod it onward. The public, 62% in favour according to the latest YouGov Pulse, will cheer between scrolls. All that remains is the sovereign's assent. King Charles, still nursing chemo bruises beneath double-breasted tweed, knows the choice is cruel. His mother's rule, never tear the family fabric, echoes nightly. Yet every new headline slices that fabric anyway, leaving tatters for Republicans to wave at future referendums. Courtiers say Charles paces his study whispering the same verdict Churchill once delivered on a disgraced peer: the crown must not shelter disrepute. But the harsher voice belongs to Prince William, who views optics the way field surgeons view hemorrhage: stop it instantly or lose the patient. He has told aides in clipped syllables that TikTok is the court of final appeal for his generation, and Andrew's name trends only in memes of sweatless dancing and private jet emojis. William's red box contains a prepared statement, 38 words long, waiting for the moment royal assent is granted. It thanks Parliament for upholding public trust, confirms that his uncle will lead a private life henceforth, and ends with a line crafted to detonate across hashtags: service is earned, not inherited. Catherine has recorded a companion clip, soft lighting, early childhood banners in the background, ready to flood the algorithm with images of productive monarchy while screens still crackle with Andrew's downfall. In the digital age you replace scandal not with silence but with better content. Across Windsor Great Park the man himself prowls corridors lined with fading polo photographs, clutching legal drafts like life vests. Royal Lodge once rang with state banquets, now it smells of damp plaster. Since Charles yanked the £249,000 annual stipend, only essential rooms are heated. Staff joke darkly that the portrait of Queen Victoria above the stair has started to peel away, as if even ancestors are packing up. Sarah Ferguson paces too, filming chirpy Instagram clips with rescued terriers to humanize the household, yet commenters zoom in on black mold behind antique curtains and ask why taxpayers ever footed the boiler bill. Andrew's lawyers threaten a last-ditch human rights defense: the right to private and family life on an estate he's leased for 75 years. Barristers across London laugh into their lunchtime flat whites: peerage is privilege, not property. Even if a court entertained the plea, the moment Parliament passes primary legislation the judiciary bows out. Sovereign law outranks every private contract. Meanwhile Treasury bean counters run numbers on security. If Andrew becomes Mr. Windsor, the Home Office could downgrade his protection detail, saving millions. That alone wins parliamentary hearts in an age of hospital waiting lists. Not that the government is ignoring collateral shockwaves. Confidential memo scenario Delta maps global fallout. Will Canada's Governor-General worry about precedents at ridings? Could Australia's Republic vote leverage this as proof monarchy is malleable? The Foreign Office predicts a 48-hour burst of scrutiny, then gratitude that London chose accountability over indulgence. Soft power risk, minimal. Domestic political gain, significant. The algorithm is simple. Inside the York daughters' WhatsApp chat, the mood oscillates between disbelief and resignation. Beatrice drafts public words, "We love our father unconditionally," then deletes them, aware allies warn anything emotional can read tone deaf. Eugenie urges her father to film an Oprah-style confession. He scoffs, still convinced the public will eventually see his truth. Every time a courier arrives, he peers from behind lace curtains, fear-struck it might be the inventory team tagging chandeliers that belong to the royal collection. Meanwhile, investigative journalists comb expense files from Andrew's decade as trade envoy. One FOI dump uncovers a £14,000 helicopter hop from Riyadh to Bahrain for cultural engagement, scheduled suspiciously close to the Formula One paddock. Another reveals a £9,000 chalet upgrade in Verbia billed as emergency security relocation. Blitz these across tabloids and the Commons chamber will smell blood before the lunch bell. Yet for all the spreadsheets and statutes, an older, quieter heartbreak pulses beneath. Andrew grew up the dashing hero prince, his mother's rumoured favourite, the Falklands aviator whose helicopter dived through flak. Stripping the dukedom means scrubbing battle honours from shoulder boards, replacing flashy naval mess dress with a plain lounge suit at Coronation 2. Monarchists of a gentler era flinch at such spectacle. But younger Britons, raised on accountability culture, shrug. A title is only as good as the behaviour that sustains it. Perhaps that is the moral King Charles keeps repeating to himself as he turns the heavy black fountain pen over in his hand, the same pen his mother used when she abolished hereditary rights for most of the lords. A pen nicknamed the Reform Nib. Doctors urge him to rest, yet the decision cannot wait forever. Loney's book pub date looms, FOI disclosures stack up, Westminster's whips sniff a rare bipartisan win in an election year. Delay looks like weakness. Action looks like renewal. And so Britain holds its breath. The order paper for next Thursday is due by noon tomorrow. Watch for a single line under Business of the House. First reading, titles Deprivation, York, Bill. If it appears, history will pivot. Livestream viewers will spike from the usual 3-digit trickle to millions. Laptops in dorm rooms from Dundee to Dhaka will witness the moment a prince became a precedent. Within hours, Gazette editors will push an update. Andrew Windsor, late-styled Duke of York, has resumed the rank of subject. Search engine algorithms will purge Her Royal Highness prefixes. Gift shops will haul York-crested teacups to clearance corners. At Royal Lodge, a removal lorry may idle by dusk, rear doors yawning for art still unsold from the Swiss chalet. Security codes on Palace IT will update. Andrew's address book will lose the prefix Her Royal Highness quicker than you can refresh Outlook. And Prince William's taped message will spool across Instagram. Calm, clipped, unanswerable, service earned, not inherited, while Catherine posts toddlers painting crowns of recycled cardboard. Narrative conquered. Storm contained. But until that order paper drops, suspense crackles in every royal light fitting. Each push notification ping could be the one. Parliament's secret blade still hovers mid-air, gleaming with 1917 steel and 2025 urgency. If it falls, remember where you heard the tremor first and let us know in the comments whether a monarchy willing to cut off its own limb is stronger for the sacrifice, or simply bleeding towards the inevitable. Like, subscribe, and keep alert. The next 24 hours may erase a prince from history, one parliamentary shout of aye at a time.